Good morning. Friday morning, just down at the hot rod shop, and it smells smoky like there's been a forest fire or something around here. But anyway, take a look around, see what's happening. The Eleanor car disaster is even worse than we thought. We didn't notice broken bell housing. So yeah, now I need to replace the front case half of this transmission. So I guess when that chunk of drive shaft was spinning around behind the car, that chunk right there, it obviously leveraged this thin bell housing, blew it apart. So yeah, real crappy situation, but we'll fix it. Not a big deal. It's like a brand new part's only $1,200 or something, so hopefully I can find a core or just a used transmission, or worst case, buy a front case half. That's on my to-do list today to see what I can find. Otherwise, they've got the floor all fixed up and starting to run all the new fuel lines and brake lines and everything all done. So just need to figure out the transmission and get a new drive shaft made, and we pulled the diff to check it and it's all good. So yeah, get that diff back in, get the transmission back in, remeasure for a drive shaft, carry on, get it fixed. That's all we can do. All right, just over here in the body shop, Ford is just cleaning up his bay here and getting ready to do a bit more body work on the 240, and then it should be going into prime real soon. So just doing a bit of a sweep up and clean up. Over here we got the 55 back together. Just needs to put the tailgate on, and then we can start doing some tire fitment situations now that we have the mini tubs done. So yeah, he's got tailgate and some cleanup. Yeah, then we can put a BIM module in it. Dakota Digital's been flickering on him, and back and forth with Dakota Digital. They figure it's the BIM module from Holley to Dakota Digital. So going to try a different BIM and check the wiring, do a wiggle test on that. And yeah, so anyway, we'll get back over into the hot rod shop side of things and see where Carrick's at with the stealth swap on this 51. He found a spot behind the dash where he was able to cartridge up the computer and keep that nice and hidden. Looks like he's working on some fuel lines now. We have a dual feed now. He's got to add a Y to that, and it's a dead-headed system, so just a Y kind of hidden back behind the intake and 2 fuel lines up. Otherwise, it looks like he's making pretty good headway. Looks like it's coming along. It looks really nice on there. It looks a lot more like a Holley, and it even says Holley on it, so that's good, versus the Sniper. So these are a little bit more money and a little bit more money to install, but you know, with the amount of hassles we've had with the Snipers, I'm really excited to see how well this one works. Something else we've learned as well is a lot of these vehicles that we've been installing the timing control into, they are now telling us on Holley support that the ignition driver module you have to use to do timing control is only good for like 250 horsepower, and you should be using a MSD box or something instead. And there's no literature out there anywhere that speaks of that for installation instructions. So we've got a ton of vehicles out there that are running just the ignition driver module to have timing control that are running perfectly fine. Anyway, this one is getting MSD box, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, and also this coil, this blaster coil, I think I've talked about that in other videos. I'm not sure how the lighting is here, if you can see it. This blaster coil is only usable with an MSD box, they say, not with the coil driver. But again, this car hasn't had a coil driver issue. It hasn't had an issue with that coil. The last issue seems like it was a one-time thing. The customer fired it up and it wasn't running well. He had to use throttle to start it, and then it didn't run great. But then when we went to pick it up, it ran great for him, and it's run great for us ever since we got it back. So it could have just been a self-tuning hiccup or something, who knows. Anyway, we've decided to delete that obviously on this car, and he is getting close to completion by the looks of it. Carry on. Let's see what's happening over here with the Lincoln. It's back up on the hoist. I'm assuming that Corbin's going to tie in those last couple pieces on the chassis, and then I think from there the next plan is engine and transmission fitment, so then we can figure out our exact height of the body to chassis, because we have obviously a hood to be concerned about, and with body being dropped, your engine rises, so we need to make sure that's all going to be good. But the bonus of a Coyote engine is you don't have a carburetor on top, so you gain 4 or 5 inches you wouldn't normally gain. That's where we're at with the Lincoln job. We will see where they get. They're just on their coffee break right now. So let's go over here and see what Lyle's been working on. So yesterday we seen He had all the door panels and back panels done. Now I see he's got the deck done, or close to done. The other thing I missed yesterday, I'll go around the other side, was he also had done the kick panels. So yeah, anyway, the package tray is almost complete, but he had also done the kick panels. Again, no bad lighting in here, but yeah, the kick panels are done and everything as well. And yeah, now the package tray as well. So I think I seen him maybe working on a headliner this morning. I had seen on the cameras he had an old one laid out here. So I'm assuming that's probably the original headliner that he had for a template. And yeah, it looks like he's sewed up a new headliner. Looks like that's what he's working on. He's gonna have a headliner in that car soon. Anyway, things are flowing along here, and that's pretty much it over here in the hot rod shop today. So we will go check out the automotive shop here shortly and see what we see. All right, Friday morning in the automotive shop. Just a quick walk around. Ashley's got the roof racks done on the Solstice van and the rear glass removed. We will be making up some aluminum panels to glue in. So I think Corbin probably has those down at the fab shop. Those will get glued in, and then he's getting the van wrapped, so he just doesn't want glass on the back. So that's happening. And then over here, the 40 Chevy, we've got the diff cover on. This diff cover that was on here was punched with a hole with a rubber plug in it from the auto wrecker. So I'm thinking back years and years ago when Kevin Stone built this, they probably got a rear end out of pick-apart. When they were still here, that's how they drained all their oils. It was frustrating. You buy anything, an engine, transmission, differential, they always air hammered a hole in it and put a rubber plug in it, and that's how they drained it. So anyway, we got a chrome cover on there since he already has a chrome oil pan, so that made sense to throw a chrome cover on there, and that's easy to get. And then the wheel spacers are out getting milled down. Gonna relieve at least 3/16 of an inch, maybe 1/4 inch. We can take out of the second half of the 5 to 6 bolt adapter that was on there. As you can see on both sides, the white walls were getting rubbed off. Now that the skirts are off, you can see the skirt goes all the way to here, but you can see where the white walls were getting rubbed, so there wasn't enough room in there to house the wheels and tires. So you're limited. Nobody makes a spacer that I could find less than 2 inches thick, being a bolt together spacer to adapt from 5 to 6 bolt. Rich can mill those down a little bit, which will give us enough room these tires won't rub, so that is good. And then that's that rodent damage car. I'm not sure what's happening with that. And over here is the Silverado that we did the evaporator on the other day. Had the whole dash and everything ripped out of it. It has the 1234YF refrigerant in it, which we don't do here in-house. We work with Fix Auto across the street when we do these vehicles, as of for now, until I upgrade our system to that system. So it went over there after the evaporator, because that was where the big leak was, and he found that the main hose under the hood here, the Schrader valve was leaking, and maybe some O-ring leaks as well. So before putting that expensive refrigerant in it, he recommended that we change this hose. So we have the hose in, so we're hoping to get that in and get this thing charged up yet, hopefully today, so he can have this truck back for the weekend. So that's what's happening there. What's going on with this, Oscar?
Just a recharge AC deal, and while it's doing its vacuum check, I'm gonna just check lights and see what else it needs to be doing.
So mainly for AC?
Mainly for AC.
Sounds good. Bone warm, no pressure, yeah, all right. All right, over here, Dave has the shop truck transmission back together. We have the updated piston in it now, and as well, when we built this transmission, we put in the upgraded drum, and a bit embarrassing, somehow one of the small seals inside the drum ended up in the old drum and not in the new drum. So it kind of makes sense that it's because of the snap ring on the piston, it air checked fine, especially after assembly, because you got lube on everything. And then this thing worked perfectly fine when it was cold. And the only time we had issues is when we were towing a trailer to like Vancouver and back. I knew there was something wrong there, so we took it apart, and it didn't take Dave long. He figured it out with low air pressure. It wasn't air checking correctly, and if you went quick, it would air check. And he was able to find that in our overhaul kit from before, there was no extra seals, but yet found that he had put the new seal in that drum out in the shop, because we used a different low mileage core to do the build. So anyway, it's great that he found that. It sucks it happened, but anyway, it should be good now. So that just needs to be reinstalled when we have a free moment at the shop, as it's a shop vehicle, it's not a high priority. And it looks like Dave is over here working on the Bronco today. Got the bolts all laid out, nice. That saves so much time. Everybody should do that, but very few people do it. So transmission and transfer case going in today?
Yeah, including starter. Got to also then run the transmission cooler lines up to the point up here.
Yeah.
Get up new steel ones, and then we put the headers in. Then exhaust, and then I put the cross member in.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a big funky cross member, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Long-term headers. And
yeah. Well, it's coming together. So it looks like he's got a rebuilt engine as well, eh? Or at least painted like it is.
It is. He said he had this one running.
Yeah.
And this is one that came out, so we don't have to worry about a cam break-in or anything.
Okay. So just assembly.
Theoretically, I'm going to have a closer look into the exhaust ports here, make sure that this engine actually has run in the chambers, to make sure that it actually
has been running. Perfect.
Because it's been, what, 11 years sitting in the garage?
Yeah, 11 years in your garage. You never know what's what, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, well, at least it was in a garage, maybe not outside.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, he's got a pile of parts here to work with and get her put together. So that's what's happening here. So yeah, just the two guys on Friday this week. So not a ton going on, but enough going on. So that's what's happening here. So we will see what else we see here. I have to get the truck and camper and Bronco all hooked up yet later this morning, and then heading to a campground on the river where Jamie is doing an event tomorrow for a customer appreciation for his business, High Caliber. So yeah, we do all his upholstery and paint work on his boats that he builds and repairs. So I'm gonna attend that event and hopefully get some cool footage of that. He's doing some thrill rides on one of his jet boats that we painted and built a big upholstery job for, which has a whole bunch of seats, so you can seats and bars, so you can do thrill rides. And then he also has a twin jet pontoon boat that I think he's going to have out there as well. So it should be fun. I won't have my boat as it's up in 100 Mile, but there should be a lot of boat activity going on, and I should be able to get some cool footage. And I've kind of wanted to see what this campground's all about. I've never stayed there, so it'd be nice to stay there and check it out. All right, it's now Friday afternoon. Got the truck, camper, and Bronco and mountain bike all in tow here. So I will do some video of that when we get to the campground. I've adjusted all the hitches and taken out any extra length on extensions and adapters and everything to make everything fit a little better, because with the Bronco we had to do a 6-inch rise hitch to lift the bars up to put them within spec now, especially with the lift and tires. And then the Bronco, I needed a swing out adapter hitch so you can get into the back of the Bronco when you have a bike on the bike rack. And of course all that adds length to everything, so I wanted to trim everything down to the minimum length it needed to be to work. I can still trim the bike rack down a little, but I didn't have time to do it where I could weld the slug back in it so you can tighten the pin, because if you do it with just a normal pin, it adds that much more rattle and slop. So I'll try it out the way it is right now for this weekend, and go from there. It hangs back off the Bronco a little ways, and of course every inch further back multiplies the weight and sag on the suspension of the Bronco. So every inch forward the better. So I'll see if I would be fine with it being closer to the spare tire, because right now I have the bike on there and it's probably a foot. The bike itself is almost a foot from the spare, but when you swing it out and then do the gate swing out, then it all gets really close where the spare will hit the bike. Anyway, I just got to decide, do I want full access to the back of the Bronco, or is just 3/4 access enough where the hardtop door still flings up, or the window flips up? And then I can probably take 4 more inches off of the length of it. So yeah, just all kind of figuring it out as I go with it all. So yeah, we should be pretty dialed in now, I believe. Just crossed the Agassiz Bridge, gonna head into the Chiem Fishing Village, which I think is taking a right around here. So going to take that right and get there. It might be a different way, but I'm sure this will get me there. So anyway, I'll figure out where it is. I'll pull over here and then I'll fire this back up shortly. Okay, I could have taken the next right. Left. It looks like this should work out anyway. I just not far away here. If you turn right here, I think it's private property, but it gets you underneath the Agassiz Bridge. That's that way. And this is the way to get over to where I need to go. So for some reason I thought it was right close to the bridge, so I think it's out further out to the right here, closer to the Fraser River Lodge, I believe. So we'll head there and see you when you get there. All right, finally found my way. We're almost there. I should have went up the highway quite a bit more, so I definitely took the scenic route, but now I know. I guess I should have put the address in when I left the shop. All is good. We are pretty much here now. All right, welcome to the Shiam Fishing Village and Campground. My cousin and his girlfriend are actually running this campground this year, so it's not sure if they'll be here or not. They still have a camp host to do it, but I've only seen this from the river, but I think only one time I've been upriver this far with my boat since they've built this campground. I think it's only a few years old. Maybe it'll be a new place to hang out in fishing season. I usually hang out at Kilby, but this is a little different, so we'll check it out. Plus we do a lot of fishing in the Harrison River, so Kilby's a little better for that, of course. Oh, it looks like Logan is here. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, so they said they got me in one of the nicest spots. I messaged them earlier to make sure I got a decent spot. So I'm in 28, so I'm supposed to go down to the left and we'll figure it out. Oh, they do have some power here. That's cool. There's 30, 29, so it must be right beside this Springdale. That's cool. We got a camping pod here. Just pop this off and show you. So they have this pod that you can rent, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I'll be right on the river here. It's super cool. All right, get out and check it out. Okay, figured I'd do a quick video before I disconnect it. But here we are. I'm in site 28, which is right here, right on the river, right by the boat launch. So yeah, just going to get this unhooked. So the only thing that's changed is, yeah, I was able to move this adapter in about 4 inches, move this in, as you can see, about 4 inches. We don't need all that extra extension, so now that's all good. And then the bike rack. So I've always had the bike rack, but the addition was that I couldn't open the, you can't open the hatch with the bike rack on there. So now I have this, so you undo the safety latch, then a little pin, and then that goes out of your way and latches, and then now you can open this. My tire does rub, but just a little. I would like to try and lift it half an inch or an inch, but and then the tire hits the fork on the bike, so not a problem. And there we go. Then you have the whole setup. Fellow 450 guy right beside us here too. So yeah. Anyway, gonna get this unhooked. We'll see you soon.
Touchdown, buzzer beater, do it all now, top corner talking home run. Touchdown, buzzer beater, do it all now, top corner like all in, lit the fire when you down.
All right, that's the second to last boat out of our paint booth for Jamie. He's just doing delivery tonight. This was actually a write-off boat that he rebuilt. It used to be orange. If you look back in the videos. So we painted this one white for this customer, and then the customer that rode off this boat, we built a new one and we did that orange paint job with the extra flake, which should be out here tomorrow on display. We had the pontoon boat up closer to where I'm standing, but we hooked the chain around the tree. So when Jamie ripped down with that boat and created a bunch of waves, it actually was picking the bow up because it's upward and shuffled it downriver. So just came and moved it over a little bit. So it should be good for the night now.
No falling. Hey you, hey down there. See you stop and stare, cause you're not up here. Like, hey you, way down there. See you down there, looking up here. Get you some binoculars, so you can see me on the Jumbotron. They noticed me back when I dropped top speed. It's been top speed, took a leap off the edge and you had cold feet. I'm driving head first, phone turn, phone freeze, dead sprint, CR7 tight speed, all pro, sports mode, big lead. Every single time bet on myself, that's on me. East, west, north, south, all scenes, worldwide, big waves, all seas. Same car, same clothes, still me. Only thing that changes is it changes on me. Home run, touchdown, buzzer beater, do it all now. All